5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. Can you remember?
1, 6, 6, 5, 7, 240, 15. God knows. There is a number, Maron. Do I remember it? No. What's been happening? What's been crack-a-lacking? Oh, why did I say that? I hate that I just said that. I really hate that it's too hot in here. Oh, sorry, cough. What was I going to start with this? Oh, yeah, so the Flash is just mid then. Kind of what we all knew. Can someone explain to me what in the Hollywood was going on there? Like, I don't... What was it just simple as they were paying people to have these... Like, why was so many celebrities watching the film early or whatever and then saying it was the best thing they've literally ever seen, brought them to tears basically, almost made them shoot themselves in the head because they realised they would never see anything as good as that ever again, so what's the point in living anymore? Like, everyone was just saying, oh my god, this is a movie that needs to be, it's the best movie in the world, and it comes out and it's just mid. I mean, it's just scores so far. Rotten Tomatoes is not exactly the Bible, we shouldn't be taking it as gospel, but I mean, really, man, it's got like 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's just okay. And like, I never thought people were gonna absolutely pan it and call it crap. I mean, I know I won't enjoy it, but I thought the greater scope of people, I never thought they'd think it's bad. But based off the trailers, Ezra Miller's performance, like, he's not bad, but I just think he's like a grown man just playing like, I don't know how old he's meant to be in the films. I think he's of college age, so let's just say 20. Let's just say he's playing a 20-year-old, right? It's like a 30-year-old playing a 15-year-old, but the character is actually 20. Like, I just don't get it. And it's like, it's got the characters from different other movies and stuff. Like, I knew it'd be at least liked to a certain level, but I didn't think it was going to be like, oh my god, the best comic book movie ever made. I think it doesn't help that Across the Spider-Verse just came out and absolutely shut any doors on that anyway, even if it did end up being better than I thought it would be. But no, it's just ended up being kind of what I thought, just kind of mid, okay at best. Like, fun and cool if you're a fan of that world and you've seen all the other films where those characters are coming from, maybe. But I didn't think, and I still don't think it's, even though it's doing the same thing as No Way Home, I think No Way Home does it better. This is, by the way, these are all opinions of a man who's not even seen it. But, you know, just, you know, whatever. Not that I sound like a Marvel. I mean, it's hard. You either sound like a Marvel fanboy, or you just sound like you're anti-Marvel. Whereas I'm actually existing somewhere in the middle. Like, if you ever give an opinion saying, "Oh, the CGI is bad, Phase 4 sucked," it's like, "Oh, why is it so popular just to jump on the anti-Marvel bandwagon? Why is it so popular just to kick Marvel when they're down? It's not even been that bad. It's just popular to say all these movies are bad." And it's like, no, a lot of them just were bad, and a lot of CGI just was bad, and a lot of people just don't want to put their standards on the floor and just let, you know, those standards slip. That being said, when you defend Marvel or you talk down on DC, then you just sound like the complete opposite, like you'll enjoy anything Marvel likes and Marvel does. And today I actually felt like defending Marvel, you know, which I haven't done for a while. You know, they've had a couple good films in the last 3 years, maybe. Which, by the way, shouldn't be an insane stat. Like, having a good couple films, a good few films in the last 3 years sounds good by anyone's standards. Within the last 3 years, you've probably had 3 good films. That sounds good. It's just the fact that they put out so much stuff, like, you wouldn't believe it's not actually been that long since, like, a good film's come out. Like, or actually, in reality, only be 15 months since the last good film. But because you, in that time, you've watched 3 television shows, 3 films, you think it's been absolute years. That's part of the issue, man. But no, I'm meant to be defending him, talking shit again. Because, oh my god, my least favourite things happened, which is old famous actor who was in Marvel films just chatting absolute shit. Or just an old fuddy-duddy who's never been in Marvel. Basically, what's his name? Anthony Hopkins. Oh, you can't. Oh, you don't you dare forget his name. Don't you dare do that. He's one of the best actors of a generation. I don't care. He's never moved me. Anthony Hopkins, Odin from the Thor movies, going off about how, it's not real acting. It's just sort of. What's the words he used? He said he used like protect. Like no. Let me just type in Anthony Hopkins, trying to do this about the whole thing falling. See if I can find it. He said it was pointless acting. He said, they put me in armour, shoved a beard on me, sit on the throne, shout a bit. If you're sitting in front of a green screen, it's pointless acting. That's what he said or whatever. It's like, all the obvious things you could say is a retort to that, which is like, okay, well, why'd you take the job then? Why'd you sign on to do 3 films or however many you did? You loved the money you got for it though, probably. Like, you still showed up. Like, no one's proclaiming that working on a Marvel film is meant to be some Shakespearean experience, right? Maybe that's what you thought you were doing because you signed up early on and it was Thor or something. But like, no one solved that to you. That they were creating a superhero team up film at the time. That's what they were going to do, right? It's fun, Any fun, cool person would be like, this is fun, Christian Bale, when he speaks about it, it's like, oh yeah, my kids love it. I've got all this makeup on and stuff. Like, I've got these rags on. I'm out on these on these big sound stages and whatever. And it's like it's just a bit different. Sure, you can sit on a park bench and cry your heart out about having cancer or like do some serious thing like that. But sometimes it's fun to, as you say, put on the armor. Be on some huge sound. Like, it's completely different. It's like some huge production. And like, I hate when people whittle things down just out of their tone in which they say things. Like, when someone says, oh, football, what is it? Just a bunch of people running around kicking a ball in between some sticks. And it's like, anything in the world, if you say it dumb enough, sounds like that. Like a sport. What are people running around, put ball in hoop? What you like painting? It's just a bit of people putting colour on paper. What? It's just a bit of smudge on paper. I can do that. What you like? Literally find anything, man. Acting in general. What's so good about acting? A bunch of guys pretending to be different guys. Is that it? You know what I mean? Like, so he sits there and he's like, he's talking about like the routine of the job as if this is some kind of reason to call the authority. Like they put me in armor, shove beard on me, stick me in front. Yes, I don't think Hawkins. They put you in the costume of Odin. Did you expect? Yeah, like they just chucked me in some armor. Yes, mate. It's part of. We don't want to let you show up in your normal clothes. Put you in armor. Put a beard on you. Yeah, we're doing the work. Probably sat in a chair with people working on you. Then just shove. He says, put me in armor. That's like they sent him into the closet and said, whack that on, mate. He then walks out. They go, get that in your face. Shout, mate. Sit on the chair. Sit on the chair, mate. Like, you probably showed up. They fitted you. They put the armor on you, right? They probably spent loads of money. Got the best fitting people in the world, whatever, doing it for you. They were doing their job. They put you in the armor. It takes however long it takes. You sit down in the makeup chair and stuff. They're doing the makeup. They're putting on this pristine beard on your face, right? Probably costs way too much money. Probably costs like $4,000. It's just a fucking beard, right? They're putting that on your face. Probably took them like an hour just to put that on, however long it takes, right? You then sit on this throne, probably crafted by someone in some studio, this place. Put you on here. He's acting like he was just sitting on a chair, nothing but green screens. Like, for all Marvel does use a lot of green and blue screens and stuff, they still do make sets. Like, it is a myth that the whole thing is just a green screen. And yeah, there is scenes you'll see, and especially in some of these newer films like Thor, Ragnarok, you're like, oh my god, But like, this is, firstly, you got to remember, this is earlier on, right? This is like one of the first few Marvel films, right? Secondly, a lot of the times they do build huge, big soundstage type set stuff. But like, sorry that we can't actually be in outer space. There is also going to be a lot of green screens. You're also going to have to pretend you're seeing this huge fire monster that doesn't exist. We couldn't just make it. Things do work better. And like, some films will use more than other. Like, it's not the same across the board. Thor Ragnarok, like, the lack of sets in that film, yeah, that's too much in that one. Not Ragnarok. I don't know about Ragnarok actually. Love and Thunder. But like, if you look at like the behind the scenes of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 set, like, yeah, in the sky a bunch of green and blue screens. That's still like a huge set. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you weren't just sitting in a chair. You were sitting in a chair on a throne on steps, like with all these chairs and tables out in front of you, probably like the structures of a building, and yes, also green and blue screens, mate. But like, why are you being such a little bitch about it? Why are you being such a salty little bitch? Like, sure, in your head it was an easy job. You just had to sat there, read off these lines, whatever, and you got paid great for it. You probably met some great people, had a great time. What's your issue, son? You know, why are you speaking about it like that? And I get old people just sound miserable about everything, so it's like maybe he wasn't saying it that bad. And also, I've only got words here, so maybe he was joking around when he said, but like, God, I hate this Tate, these old fuddy-duddy. It's pointless acting. I could argue that, and no, one is not better than the other, right? But when Dunkirk, right, Christopher Nolan, he likes to do everything practically. Cillian Murphy's playing that soldier who's like shivering, right? And he's actually out on a rock in the middle of the ocean, water splash on him in the freezing cold. He's shivering. So when he gets on the boat and he's talking to people and he's like, yeah, I'm shivering, mate. He's fucking shivering. So it limits the amount you have to do as an actor. When you're in a big green screen, they tell you, right, that's thing over there, he's over there. You're telling him because you're going to curse him, you're going to bless the hammer, you're going to send it down there. Your birthright, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you got to argue, you got to reach even more because like nothing's going on here. You really do have to pretend it's like being a kid. You know, it's really got to go there. It's like calling it like, I don't know what he means by pointless. I guess he doesn't mean maybe necessarily easier, because I don't think that is maybe easier or harder. It's just sort of another thing to do. Calling it pointless, it's like, who wronged you, Anthony Hopkins? You know what I mean? When he won, I knew I was pissed when he won the Oscar over Chadwick Boseman. I just knew. Don't want it to be this guy. Oh, he's the oldest winner. Ugh. God, I've never seen a single film he's in. Oh, but he's great. He's the best of a generation. Don't care, mate. What have you done for me lately? But yeah, I just had to get that off me chest because Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ, what an old fart. I didn't even think he was good as Odin. Like he was shouting and stuff. Like I was looking back at those films recently. And it's like, yeah, he is shouting and that, but like, he's saying, oh yeah, they just told me to shout a bit. Sure, I'm Odin. He was trying to prove he's some. I hate people who do this, right? He's there trying to prove that I'm some thespian actor no matter what I'm in. And like, I think it's the scene where Thor's like, I deserve the throne, it's my birthright, you know? And then Odin's like, it's not your birthright, your birthright. Oh no, or maybe to Loki. Loki's like, the throne's my birthright. And he's like, it's not your birthright was to die. Because he was like dying as a little fucking elf thing, frozen giant. And he saves him. And then when he says that line, he's like, it's not your birthright. Like, he does like the most dramatic, like, just trying something that just takes you out of the film, but just him trying to prove, like, I don't know, like, to me that was just so transparent in that moment that I was like, that didn't feel natural. I just felt like you trying to do like a little stage thespian thing because you're a thespian actor at birthright. Like the type of actor who loves spitting in scenes because he thinks it proves something. Like you know, people who do that all the time. It's like, you didn't need to spit just then. Like when they're shouting and spit comes up, it's just like, mate, that just felt so. But yeah, like I think Tom Hiddleston outshines him massively in those films. Massively. I think he's just way better at playing that full sort of thespian character. And to be honest, so does Chris Hemsworth. And to be honest, Anthony Hopkins, so does Idris Elba. So why don't you shut up and why don't you go sit back in your house, paid for by Marvel, and get out of my face? How about that? I'm literally calling an old man right now to fight. How about that, Christian Hopkins? Okay, we're done here. This was 1-6 something. Seeing 1-6 something else.
With the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'd ever meet. Like,